Here we have Harry painting the walls and the ceiling of a room that is 12 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8.5 feet high. So he's painting the walls and the ceiling. So let's make a note right now, there's no floor. Okay, it's 10 feet long, or sorry, 12 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8.5 feet high. Let's do a little drawing. Okay, so it's 12 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8.5, so 8.5 feet high. Okay, there's a 6-foot by 4-foot window, a 2.5-foot by 7-foot doorway, and a mirrored closet door that is 6 feet by 7 feet. Now he's not going to paint the window, obviously, he couldn't see out. Can't paint the doorway because it doesn't exist. You could paint the door, but it doesn't look like we're painting the door. And a mirrored closet, so no point in painting the mirror. So what surface area must he paint? So we're going to paint everything in this room except for no floor, no window, no doorway, no closet door. So let's first consider the surface area of the entire room. So let's just make that equals, because surface area is 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the width times the height. So 2 times the length is 12, the width is 10, plus 2 times the length is 12, and the height is 8.5, plus 2 times the width is 10, and the height is 8.5. Okay, so 2 times 12 times 10, that's 240. 2 times 12 times 8.5, that's 204. And 2 times 10 times 8.5 is 170. And we add those together and we get 614. And that's feet squared. That's if he painted the entire place with whatever paint he's using. Now remember, there are certain things we don't want to paint. So we don't want to paint the floor. We don't want to paint the window. We don't want to paint the doorway. And we don't want to paint the closet door. Okay, these are all rectangles, so they're all length times width. We could have taken the floor into account here, but we didn't. I'm just going to subtract it off. The way we would have done it, we would have done 1 less length times width, but we'll see that in a minute. Okay, so we have the floor here. The floor is this part here. It's 12 feet long by 10 feet high. We don't need the height for the floor because we're standing on it. So this is 12 by 10, which is 120. So we could have just done 1 length times width and added all those up, and then we would just add 120 here, but we're going to just work on subtracting it off. So the window here is 6 by 4, because it's the area, right? We're not talking about a length, so we don't subtract 6 and subtract 4 because we're not subtracting a length, we're subtracting an area. So we're not going to cover the window with paint, we have to take that area away. So that's 24, 6 times 4. Then we've got the doorway, which is 2.5, 2.5, so it's 2.5 by 7. So 2.5 by 7 is 17.5. Remember, these are all feet squared. And our closet door is 6 by 7. So that's 42 square feet. So basically, we're painting this entire box here on the inside. We're covering the entire surface with paint except for these things. So when we're talking about except for, we're subtracting. So painted area is 614 minus 120 minus 24 minus 17.5 minus 42. Alternately, you could add these all up and then subtract the total from 614. You're going to get the same result. So 614 plus minus 120. 614 minus 120 minus 24 minus the 17.5 for the doorway minus the 42 for the closet door, and we're painting 410.5 square feet. So he must paint 410.5 square feet. I'm going to make that look more like 410. And this would be an important thing to know if you're going out to paint, because you want to go out and buy paint, and especially if it's if you're tinting it, you want to be able to get all the same color. You don't want to buy too much because now you've got this paint. What are you going to do with it? You don't want to buy too little because now you're going to have to make a trip back to the store. And like I say, especially if you've tinted it, now you've got to try to make sure the colors match and everything. So you want to be able to go in there and know exactly how much paint you need. You'll always want to calculate a little bit extra, but if 4 cans is enough, you don't want to be buying 5, and if you need 5, you definitely don't want to be coming home with 4. So here is your solution.